Forcing components together that clearly don't fit means you aren't just struggling with wood or metal. You feel the physical friction of a missing plan. In ancient Buddhist thought, this specific state is called amdan, blind ignorance. It describes the moment we prioritize speed over understanding, diving into a task before we actually know how it works. Escaping this requires Ming, or clarity. Think of it as an architectural grid. Once you identify the rules that govern a task, the chaotic elements have no choice but to snap into a predictable, manageable alignment. Grab a notepad. We are going to build a 4-step framework designed to remove guesswork from your workflow entirely. Trial and error is a strategy for those with infinite time, like a scientist in a lab. In your professional life, you don't have that luxury. Systematic clarity is the only path to a guaranteed result. Pick a task you need to master. At the top of your page, write Step 1, Stop Guessing. The biggest obstacle to clarity is the ego. We have a destructive urge to look competent by acting quickly. We want to be the person who just figures it out on the fly. But that impulse is usually where the errors begin. This creates a gap between the respect you want and the flawed work you actually produce. You cannot be held in high regard if your output is a series of failed experiments. Put your tools down. This physical pause signals a shift from impulsive action to structural humility. Now write Step 2, Find the rules. Your goal is to identify the precise blueprint or manual that governs this task. This leads to Quang Minh, or clear comprehension. This is the moment your mental understanding perfectly matches the objective rules of the system you are working in. You already apply this logic to simple things. You don't guess how to wear a shirt or eat a meal because you follow a set of internalized rules. Complex tasks, like coding, managing, or cooking, require that same level of rule-based discipline. Competence does not begin when you pick up the tool. It begins when you possess the complete operational manual for the task. On your notepad, write Step 3, Memorize and Drill. Possessing the rules is only the first half of the process. You must also lock them into your memory. There is a sharp divide between reading a manual and internalizing it. Internalization means you can visualize the entire sequence of the project before you ever touch the materials. This is where you use a sandbox. Practice the motions or the software navigation in a safe test environment where mistakes don't carry a cost. Now write Step 4, Execute. This is the transition from mental rehearsal to physical reality. This phase requires absolute fidelity to the rules. You must execute exactly as you learned, refusing to drift back into old habits or take shortcuts that compromise the blueprint. This principle is universal. It works whether you are assembling a mechanical joint, managing a team, or writing a script. The logic of the rules remains the same. When you follow the internalized rules to the letter, the work becomes effortless. The complex joint locks together on the first try because there is no longer any guesswork involved. Operating this way eliminates the friction of uncertainty. You have turned a high-stress struggle into a process of guaranteed, frictionless output. Review your notes. You have a 4-step framework. Stop guessing, find the rules, memorize, and execute. This is your personal map out of the darkness. Compare this systematic approach to the frantic shoving of components we saw at the beginning. You are no longer hoping for a result. You are engineering it. This is the state of Thu Mang Quang Minh. You have finally become a self-sustaining source of clarity, possessing the internal framework necessary to light the path forward in any new project. Take this framework and use it to help someone else. Find a colleague who is currently trapped in the trial and error cycle and show them how to find the rules. Mastery is more than a personal win. It is a tool you use to illuminate your entire professional environment, replacing the fog of ignorance with the light of clear, disciplined action.